following podcast is rated D for dumb. You're listening to Dumbing It Down with Dave, the fastest podcast on earth. Listen to Dave commute to and from work on the New York State Thruway in his 2008 Kia Rio LX. He talks about pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. Join Dave as he asks and tells you how life ought to be. And now, here's Dave.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dumbing It Down with Dave. My name is Dave Canyon. Yes. Thank you so much. The one and only. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Dumbing It Down with Dave. Episode 39, I think it is. It's Sunday, November 6th. It is 7:03. See how I said zero? 7:03 in the morning. It is standard time. Eastern Standard Time, because we turned the clocks back about a couple of hours ago. So, just want to give you a heads up. I just left a gas station here. I'm going to top off. I just topped off my wife's car. Today is the Honda Fit edition, not the 2008 Kia Rio edition, Honda Fit. What year is this car? I don't even know. I think this is also 2008 or 2009. It's a great car, Honda Fit. Anyway, they don't sponsor the show, but I'm just telling you anyway. So, welcome everybody. Welcome, Dum-Dums. Welcome to the Dumbcast. This is the Sunday going home version. Did I do a Tuesday or a Wednesday coming to work version? Yes, I did. That was episode 38. And do I remember what I called it? 37 was my buddy Todd. And 38 was Rules of Engagement and the Road. Something like that. Rules of Engagement and the Road. So, interesting shows, I think. I actually did get a response from Todd. Unfortunately, I printed it out. I was going to read it. But unfortunately, I left it on my kitchen table. Because I turned it over to write some notes. Because a friend of mine called me about a separate issue. So, I said, I'll write it on this piece of paper. I won't lose it. And then I didn't lose it. I just left it home. So, just one of those things that you do when you try to do too much. You know, I'll put this in a safe place. And before you know it, you don't even know where that safe place is. So today is also Marathon Sunday, by the way. If you're in New York City, it is Marathon Sunday, and I am headed to Brooklyn. So not the greatest day for travel, but I know my way around the city, so I'm not worried about it. There's one thing about New York City, there's a million routes to everywhere. So for the most part. So I'm not too worried about it. So I can't do a mileage report, although if we did a mileage report, what is the mileage on my wife's Honda, by the way? I know she does a lot of miles too. Not as much as mine, but yeah, let's just do the mileage report for the Honda Fit. Why not? For the Honda Fit, the mileage report is brought to you by Comedy Pipe. Comedy Pipe is Comedy Pipe. It's live, by the way. It is a comedy, talk, internet, streaming, radio, internet show. Did I repeat anything? Yeah, it's a talk show. It's a comedy talk show, comedy whatever show. If wherever you are, anywhere in the world, wherever you are, if it's 8 o'clock in New York on a Wednesday, it's time for Comedy Pipe Live. You can see them on YouTube, and you can listen to the stream on comedypipe.com. comedypipe.com if you want to listen to Pipe Dream. Did I say Comedy Pipe? Pipe Dream Live is the name of the show. It's not actually Pipe Dream Live, but I'm just letting you know it's a live show. So Mike 3D, his friends call him 3D. I call him Mike 3D. I don't know why. I got to stop doing that. And he has his co-host Jefferson and Joe Green. So anyway, one guy talks, two guys listen. Sometimes one guy talks, two guys laugh. You never really know how it's going to work out. But there's a lot of laughter. There's a lot of there's some listening, and there's a lot of love. There you go. Those are my taglines. I don't know if Mike approves of that. Laughter, listening, laughter, and love. Listening, laughter. Yeah, who knows? So, all right, there you go. So that's so my wife's car has 143,636 miles. 143,636. I have about 60 or 70,000 more miles on my car. Something like that. 60 or 70,000 more on my car. I do a lot more miles per week. Okay, so there you go. There's the mileage report. Welcome again, Dum-Dums. Thank you for listening to me again for episode number 39. I don't know what I'm going to call it. I have had so many ideas floating around in my head. Where do I start, right? Where do I start? That's always the tough part. So we will get the whole half hour in today. No problem. Oh, yeah, so Todd was not upset by my comments. He sent me something funny. He explained to me what a bobber is. So I don't even want to attempt to tell you what he told me, but it is a work of art, and he's actually going to be able to ride that work of art on the road somewhere. He'll be able to, take it for a ride. It's a motorcycle. So that's it. Let's get to the and dumbing it down with Dave. So what do we talk about? Not the marathon, although I will say back in 2013, I was in great shape. I was running half marathons, and I was qualified for the New York Marathon, and then I sort of stopped training and I dropped the ball. That is a story for another day. All right, let's do that for another day, because I don't really want to talk about that right now. Not that I'm afraid to talk about it. It's just that I don't think today's the show. That's not the show I want to do today. If I have a choice, it's not the show I want to do. But one day, if I forget, maybe somebody will remind me. Hey, talk about why you never ran the marathon. You had 2 opportunities, Dave. How come you didn't run in either one? All right, and I'll explain that to you. So there you go. Leave them wanting more, they say. Did I tell you this was the fastest podcast on earth? Yes, it is. It is the fastest podcast on earth. Even though we're not in a Kia Rio, even though we're in a Honda Fit, still the fastest podcast on earth. I am southbound on the New York State Thruway, Sunday, November 6th, 7:08 now in the morning. I've wasted 5 minutes introducing the show. We've gotten to nothing. Anyway, so it's the 2 days before Election Day. So let's talk about that. This will be the last chance I get to talk, unless I do another podcast tomorrow, about this election and what's happening. So it looks like it's going to be a 50-50 race right down to the end. This is going to be interesting how this all comes about. Let's see how this goes. Oh, wait a minute. Ugh, why didn't I do that before? All right, I just unplugged something from my phone. I should have done that before. I don't know if it made a difference. I hate to go on and on. One bad thing about the Spreaker app, the recording app, I can't stop it and go back and listen to see if I made a mistake or something. Once you get going, you got to get going. But I'm just going to take a chance. Whatever. Okay, so 2 more days to today's Sunday, so you got Monday and Tuesday. It looks like it's going to be 50-50. It's going to be pretty close, unless there's that secret number that all the people that have never voted before or haven't voted in a long time come out and they vote for Donald Trump. I don't know if they would vote for Hillary. It seems like that particular section of the population is leaning towards Trump. People who have never voted before, they're disenfranchised. They want nothing to do with the United States government, and boom, all of a sudden, here's somebody talking their language. And I guess you can lump them in, which I really don't like, with the uncollege educated white males. That's where they put me. College educated. And I got, once again, I talked about this a couple of episodes ago. I talked about this a couple of episodes. I notice sometimes I talk too fast. Okay, I could have went to college. Why not? I get a million people could say that. Or I could have went to college. I could have taken a liberal arts program. I could have went for 4 years. And I don't know if that includes 2-year colleges. If I graduate from 2-year college, does that make me a college graduate? Or do I have to go around telling everybody I'm a college graduate? Oh, but it's a 2-year. You're the run to the litter. I don't know. That statistic I've been hearing. Does that include community colleges or not? So I could have done all that. I don't know how that would affect me as far as my decision making in this election. Unless I studied up on politics, political science, or whatever it is that would let me know that things that either Donald or that Donald is doing is wrong. That it's going to be wrong. It's going to be devastating. Because I've heard economists, I've heard so many people on the radio, and they all have their versions of post-Trump, a post-Trump world. I don't know who's right and who's wrong. I did hear one statistic, one radio show somewhere, or I read something, that a lot of these shows, these people are wrong. Like all those financial shows, I don't know what the financial channel is. What is it, CNBC or MSNBC? The Squawk Box and Kramer and all those. This is some statistic that like 90% or some ridiculous amount, they're wrong. The predictions they make, the financial predictions they make, are constantly wrong. And yet, they keep their jobs, and they do show after show. So why would I think? And by the way, football analysts are wrong. All sports analysts are constantly wrong. So why would any political analyst be any more accurate than that? How about that for a non-college graduated opinion or insight? People are wrong all the time. So I have no idea nobody has any idea what it's gonna be like post Clinton or post Trump. I do know what it's like post Obama, and I don't know if it's that big change that he was looking for. Yeah, I know the Republicans fought him every step of the way. I don't know that to be true. I don't know it to not be true. I don't know it to be true. And once again, let me disqualify myself from knowing anything about politics. I don't know anything. I'm being honest with you. I'm just looking at the way the world is right now in 2016 from 2008. And I've heard this question many times during an election. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? Or are you better off now than you were 8 years ago? And I am because I got a great job. And I think that's the key to my life forever and ever, is that I need to have a great job. And I need to make money. The abortion issue, that doesn't affect me. Equal rights, I don't think that really affects me. Once again, all unqualified opinions. The abortion issue, equal marriage, all these categories. International, the free trade, NAFTA, TPP, all these things. Do they affect me? Maybe they do, but I don't know if I've ever directly felt any effect from any political event or any sort of ruling, anything. The key. I'm 53 years old, folks. If I haven't mentioned that 1,000 times already. Ever since I've been an adult in an adult job. So 19, I joined the Navy. I got out in 23. So let's just say the last 30 years. 23 to 53. The key to my life has not been any amendment. It has not been any civil right. It's not been the 10 Commandments. It has been nothing except how much money do I make? Is that naive? Do you think that's wrong that I think that way? I don't think so. I think that's the answer to everything. Does that make me a capitalist? I don't know. What does that make me? Does that make me anything? Can you put me in a category now? But I believe that's 100% true. Since I got out of the Navy, when I was 23 years old, the only thing that's made a difference in my life is how much money I make. If I could have made the money now, then, if I could have made the money I'm making now back then, 30 years ago, my life would be totally different. If I would have found the job that I liked a lot more, or paid a lot more, if I could have made, whatever, 5, 10, 20,000 more a year, my life would be different. But that's me, because I wouldn't have been worrying about spending money on guns and bullets. I wouldn't be worried about paying for an abortion or finding a place to carry out an abortion. I wouldn't be concerned about the price of dishwashers or whatever it is, whatever that NAFTA, is it NAFTA, whatever, and TPP, whatever any of that affects, I don't know if it would have affected me, and I don't know who it affects if you're making good money. I've been seeing sneakers, cross training sneakers from, what is it, Adidas or what's the one with the B? Not New Brunswick. It doesn't matter. Oh, I got some stuff I got to tell you. I just remembered. Whatever. I've always been able to find sneakers for somewhere between $30 to $50. Not great running shoes. I have great running shoes for over $100. I've always been able to find a car for under $10,000. I've always been able to eat for all different amounts of money. $5. I don't do fine dining. I bought my house 20 some odd years ago. That was affordable. It wasn't as affordable then as it is now, but so I'm trying to think of all the things I spend money on. The movies went up. Movies went ridiculous. I mean, it used to be like, well, up here the drive-in was $5 for a double feature when I first moved up here 20 some odd years ago. But guess what? That went up to like $9 or $10 for a double feature. And guess what? I don't go. You know why? Because movies suck. And I go to Redbox or Netflix. And I watch a lot of on-demand TV. So, you know, I'm trying to think of all the things, like, what do I pay for? Groceries? Well, yeah, but I'm making more money. Groceries do cost more, but I'm making more. And that's just like inflation, right? Is that something I would know from being college educated? That I'm saying something wrong right now? The cars I bought, yeah, they're both under $10,000. Well, actually, the Honda Fit was more, but it was less per month. We financed it in a way that it was affordable. I've had a second job most of my adult life, not the last 3 years. No, that's not true. Not the last 2 years. And I'm pretty much done with part-time jobs. So I'm trying to think of, you know, I don't travel that much. I don't fly airplanes. Although I look up flights. I go, yeah, if you work it out the right way at the right time, you can fly somewhere for fairly cheap. You're not going to go overseas. You're not going to go see Italy for a week for $300. But I can get around. And you know what? If I can't, I don't. It doesn't bother me. I've never been on a cruise. I don't foresee ever going on a cruise. It could happen. I got a motorcycle now. I bought it for $1,500. The lady wanted $1,800. I gave her $1,500, and then I put $800 more into it. I got a $2,300 motorcycle, 1995 Honda Shadow. Oh, I can afford that. I don't know. So what's the point? What's the it in dumbing it down with Dave? Well, right now, I think the answer to everybody's problems is money. You know how they say money doesn't solve people's problems? You know, it doesn't make you happy? What do they say? What's the exact saying? I'm not a college graduate. You tell me. What do people say about money? I think it solves a lot of issues if you know how to handle money. Now, if I won that $450 million lottery a couple of years ago, or whatever it was, boy, that's a ridiculous amount to win. But I've talked about it a lot with my friends, and I talked about it with my wife. I think we decided that we were going to keep like 10 million of it and get rid of the other 440. Just really find a way to get rid of it quickly. So it's not, you know, it's nothing I have to worry about. I think that a lot of people should not be winning lotteries. They don't know how to live life. They don't know how to live life, and they don't know how to spend money. They're not accountable. They're not responsible. Anyway, so I think that's what it comes down to, money. And I guess the it in dumbing it down with Dave on this episode is, I don't think it really matters who becomes president. I'm not going to let it bother me. I think 50% of this country is going to be infuriated, and they're going to feel despondent. They're going to be demoralized. I'm doing this podcast November 7th, November 6th. So mark my words. November 9th is going to be a day that lives in infamy. Is that what I'm supposed to be saying? I'm not college educated. You tell me. It's a day that lives in infamy. Because that'll be the day that this country takes a big gulp, takes a deep breath, and goes, oh my God, I can't believe that this is going to be our life for the next 4 years. 50% of this country is going to say that. And who knows if this decision is going to be contested. Because we all know that the election is not a perfect system, the way we do it, which is amazing to me. Isn't it amazing to you? Are you a college graduate? Do you understand the words that I'm saying? Isn't that a line? Isn't that Chris Tucker's line from Rush Hour? Do you understand the words that I'm saying? Why do we not have a perfect election system? Voting. Wow, what's all those cop cars doing over at that gas station? Uh-oh. Somebody got shot. Somebody got robbed. Uh-oh. Well, folks, it happens. I am giving you a live report from Coxsackie, New York. The Dairy Mart on Route 9, the Sunoco station, has 1, 2 state trooper vehicles, 1, 2, 3 local sheriff's vehicles, 2 vans, and 2 unmarked cars. So it looks like there's been a robbery or somebody got shot, and there's yellow police tape around the whole gas station. So I've always said that I would report on something live, if I saw something happen, and something's happening right now at this gas station. And, all right, well, it doesn't do much for you, but if you want to look up on the internet, some sort of incident on Sunday, November 6th at the Sunoco Dairy Mart in Coxsackie, go ahead. You might see something. All right. How much time do I have left? 20 minutes. All right. So I got 9 minutes to go. All right. That's it. I think it's going to be a shock to 50% of the people. Wednesday, November 9th is going to be a weird day. Very weird. It's going to be, people are going to be outraged. The newspapers, everybody. It's going to be nuts. This election, more than any other election, the other side is just not going to be happy with the results. Not going to be happy. Just devastated. Anyway, I'm going to continue to make money. Whatever Hillary does. Oh, there's a soccer ball on the side of the road. Oh, I wish I was going slow. I would have picked it up. I like picking up things from the side of the thruway. Good things. I picked up a wheelbarrow once. I still have it. Works great. It doesn't matter. Whatever they do, I think no matter what either president does, it's not going to affect me. I'm going to work and work and work. I've been working for 30 years in my adult life since I got out of the Navy. How many presidents have I seen in 30 years? 5, 6, 7? I don't even know. Carter, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama. I think. I wasn't counting, so sounds like 6. Could be 7. Could be 5. Let me do it again. Reagan, Carter. Yeah, Carter is the first one I think I remember. But I was alive before Carter, but whatever. Let's just say, it was Carter's 1976, so I was only 13. Whatever. Carter, Reagan, Bush. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Oh, yeah, there was Gerald Ford. Does that count? Then there was Clinton, Bush, Obama. Sounds like 7 or 8. 6 or 7. Doesn't really matter. Okay. And as far as my father goes, who's also a working man, same thing. I don't think anything is effective. I mean, maybe now Medicaid. I should be paying attention more to Medicaid and Social Security at my age. But no. Civil unrest in the streets? Nope. Hasn't affected me. Racism? Nope. Hasn't affected me. Equal rights, civil rights, equal pay? Nope, and nope. Affirmative action? Nope. Abortion? Nope. The housing market? Nah, maybe a little bit, but it was in my favor. If anything, I bought a house in a town where IBM used to exist, and then IBM pulled up stakes, they left, and the housing market went down the toilet. And I benefited from that. Interest rates? Nope, benefited from that too. The recessions that we've had, or depressions, yeah, but I kept on working. I never lost my job because of it. I didn't have one of those jobs that was affected by the recession or depression. So, if I was college graduated, whatever, I would know that we didn't have a depression. We only had a very big recession, 2008, and the other one before that. Yeah, none of it's affected me. I guess being a driver, being either a bus driver or a truck driver, if you're driving for the right companies, these things don't affect you. So that is really it, folks. I had a lot more that was on my mind. Oh, so let me do some corrections. So that's it. Did I cover it all? Did I do a good job for a big dum-dum like me? Barely a high school graduate? Which is true, by the way. But I have given myself an honorary college degree in this college diploma in this this show in an early episode, because I have traveled the world. I've done a lot. I've been through a lot. I've done a lot. So I'm giving myself a college degree, honorary, whatever. Let me just take a sip of chocolate milk here. My mouth is a little dry. Okay, so anyway, last episode I was talking about the government, and I could, if I was in government, I would be able to reach across the aisle and make things work a lot better. And I called it a stranglehold. And then I said, oh, what's that word? That's the word to go. Oh, stranglehold. I had just said it, but it wasn't. It was gridlock. The word I was looking for was gridlock. And I was also criticizing Chuck Schumer, Charlie Chuck Schumer, whatever his name is, because he's trying to enact some legislation to put more controls on truck drivers, on tractor trailers, because they're so damn deadly. I say that sarcastically. But what Chuck Schumer doesn't come up to the podium and do a press conference on Sundays and say that not only does he care about commuters, he cares about, the drivers, he cares about truck drivers, he cares about everybody. And guess what? Chuck Schumer never says that he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that all the roads in New York City are paved, are smooth, are pothole free, are litter free, are painted properly with yellow lines and white lines, and the signage is new or clean and legible, that's not blocked by trees, and the lights are all sequenced, all the traffic lights and all the street lights are lit, not blinking or off, or we're not cutting them off to save money. I think the city did that once. I think they might have done something to the street lights to save money. Why doesn't Chuck Schumer come out and say that? We have 1,000 accidents a day involving semi-trailers and semi-tractors, and 1,000 a day. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to legislate this electronic device that limits their speed. Yeah. Well, what about the potholes? What about the horrible transitions on the Cross Bronx Expressway from the road to these overpasses where you hit a bump and your balls fall on the floor? Come on, Schumer. It's ridiculous already with these roads, the Cross Bronx. I'm 53 years old. I've been traveling New York City with my father when I was a little boy. I mean, it's been all my life. We have the filthiest, worst roads. And yet he won't step up to the plate and say, I'm not going to just specifically look at this one thing. I'm going to look at the entire thing. We got to do better with our roads. We got to figure out how to get people through the tolls faster. We got to find a way they just got rid of the Tappan Zee Bridge tolls. So anybody who drives there, whether you have Easy Pass or not, you're going to pay. They're going to get you. I don't know how they're doing it, because you don't have to sign up for anything. I guess they read your license plate and then they bill you. I don't know how they're doing it. I have Easy Pass. But apparently they have a way of billing you without Easy Pass. So if you got rid of the toll booths at the Tappan Zee Bridge, well, why can't we just get rid of all the toll booths? Get rid of all the toll booths. You're still going to collect your money. And now you could maybe do a better job of fixing the George Washington Bridge, which is like a rodeo ride right now. All right, well, that was the two things from episode 38 that I left out. Gridlock and paving the road with asphalt. Paving them better. All right, folks. Good luck. Whoever you decide on this election day, it's a biggie. I'm going with the T-Man. I'm just going to say it. I can't go with the lady who doesn't know how to do her emails. Can't do it. Can't do it. We can talk and talk about the whys and whats, but I just can't go with her. It's been how many years now that she's been in the public eye, and I never felt good about her, and I'm going to trust my instincts. Do I feel great about Donald Trump? No. I don't feel great about him. But I'm not making another vote for that Aleppo guy. I did that in 2012 to send a message, and the message was received loud and clear. And they gave me the T-Man. All right, folks. Goodbye. Good day. Good night. Good luck. Good riddance. Godspeed and great skills. Don't forget to listen to Pipe Dream. And don't forget Alex Exum and the Exum Experience. He does my intro. Did a great job. Alex Exum, EXUM.com. Take care, guys. Don't forget dumbingitdownwithdave.com.